All right, let's just dive right into this explainer. Today, we're completely demystifying how your credit card actually calculates what you owe. Credit cards can feel a bit like magic plastic, but the underlying math, yeah, banks rarely lay that out clearly for us. So we're going to change that right now by looking at the cold, hard numbers.
To kick things off, I want you to imagine a super common, entirely relatable scenario. Picture this. You get your monthly credit card statement and it's for 50,000 rupees. You pay off almost the whole thing, but you leave just a tiny 3,000 rupee shortfall. Take a wild guess at how much interest you'll be charged on your next statement. I mean, you'd probably think, oh, it's just a few percent on 3 grand, right? Maybe $100?
Well, brace yourself. The genuinely shocking reality here is that a 3,000 rupee shortfall on a 50,000 rupee balance is going to cost you over 4,000 rupees in interest. Seriously, no joke. You leave 3,000 unpaid, and bam, you're hit with a massive 4,000 rupee charge. So, how on earth is that mathematically possible? Well, that's exactly what we're going to unpack. To figure this out, we're going to track the descent of a cardholder. We'll start with the interest illusion, then move through stage 1, the grace period, hit stage 2, the partial trap, fall down into stage 3, revolving balance, before finally exposing the true cost.
Okay, section 1, the interest illusion, or what your bank won't clearly explain. To understand how we get to that absurd 4,000 rupee charge, we have to shatter the illusion of how credit card math actually works. It turns out almost everyone holding debt goes through the exact same, highly predictable journey. After speaking with dozens of people who carry credit card debt, researchers actually identified 3 distinct stages in how cardholders encounter interest. And every single stage comes with its own dangerous misconceptions. It's a highly structured system, and frankly, understanding how it operates is absolutely your best defense. Section 2, Stage 1, the grace period. This is where responsible cardholders live. We're starting in the light here, which is the absolute intended, optimal way to use a credit card, where you pay exactly 0 rupees in interest. Think of the grace period as 18 to 52 days of totally free money lent to you by the bank, provided you pay your full statement balance by the due date. If you spend during your billing cycle and pay the total amount exactly on time, the bank literally hands you a free loan. You pay absolutely 0 interest. And on top of that, you're probably raking in 1 to 10% back in rewards. Sounds like an unbeatable deal, right? But seriously, how can banks afford to just hand out free loans? Well, the secret behind stage 1 is that your free credit is actually heavily subsidized. While you, the cardholder, pays 0 interest, the merchant you bought your stuff from is paying a 1.5 to 2.5% merchant discount rate, or MDR fee, to the payment network and your bank. That little fee is what funds your grace period. You're effectively riding on the merchant's dime. But, and this is a massive catch, you only get this free ride if you clear the entire balance. And here is the plot twist. Section 3. Stage 2, the partial trap. It's incredibly expensive and completely unexpected. This is the accidental trap, where well-meaning people pay 95, maybe even 99% of their bill and just get completely burned. So, the really crucial thing to understand here is that paying mostly everything still triggers 3 devastating mathematical rules that instantly wipe out your grace period. First off, interest is charged on the full outstanding balance. Yep, including the portion you already paid. Second, that interest calculates from the original transaction dates, not your payment due date. And third, your grace period is instantly gone for the following month's new purchases too. Just one tiny shortfall basically infects your entire statement.
Which brings us right back to why that 3,000 rupee shortfall from our earlier example ends up costing over 4,000 rupees. The effective interest on a 3,000 rupee shortfall is not 3.5% a month. No way. It creates an effective interest rate of 40 to 50% in immediate impact. Why? Because by leaving just 3,000 rupees unpaid, the bank suddenly charges you retroactive interest on the cleared 47,000 rupees from the exact day you made those purchases. You thought you were being super responsible, but the formula punished you for the full amount anyway.
Section 4, Stage 3, Revolving Balance. This is where things get genuinely dangerous. Let's see how this partial trap builds into a really dark reality where you just stop paying the full balance entirely. Consider the story of Sunita. This is where cardholders like her end up getting totally trapped, making only minimum or partial payments while the underlying math turns violently against them. At this point, you aren't just accidentally missing a few rupees anymore, you're systematically carrying debt from month to month. What Sunita got caught in is called the compound loop.
And it's a cycle of 4 simple, but honestly terrifying steps. Step 1, you make a partial or minimum payment. Step 2, the interest compounds monthly. Step 3, because of that heavy interest, the actual principal balance barely drops. And step 4, the truly fatal blow, each month's interest literally becomes next month's principal. Once you fall into this vicious cycle, you're paying interest on top of interest, which guarantees you stay trapped in debt for as long as humanly possible.
Section 5, the true cost, or exposing the most expensive debt. To really grasp the severity of Stage 3, we have to look at how this stacks up against other ways to borrow money in India. Shockingly, revolving credit card debt just completely towers over stuff like property loans or personal loans. Think about it. A loan against property might run you somewhere around 8 to 12%. A personal loan usually sits around 12 to 15%. But Stage 3 credit card debt, it's literally the most expensive common consumer debt available. It completely blows past almost any legitimate financing option out there. You are paying an unbelievable premium purely for the convenience of swiping that plastic. So the ultimate question you've got to ask yourself the next time you glance at your statement is this: which stage are you actually living in? Are you safely maximizing that grace period in Stage 1, effectively getting a completely free loan? Or are you trapped in Stage 3, secretly funding someone else's fancy rewards program through your compounding interest? The math is entirely in your hands, now that you know the rules of the game. So take a really hard look at your balance today and decide how you want to play it.